Hello. Getting everything pulled up and getting it set up so I can see comments. Hey Dee, how's it going? Thank you for hopping over. Sorry, my shadow is all up in the business here. Hey Sandy. Hey Daniel, how's it going? Oh, and Dee. Hey Angel. Hey Penny. I'm so excited to see you guys. um, Awesome. Daniel, I'm going to need to take you up on your offer to practice Spanish sometime. So, whenever you have some free time, you should let me know so that we can practice because I need somebody to talk to. Okay, thanks. um, hey, Karen, how's it going? Hey, Jennifer. Hey, Jackie. Um, Heffa, I like that. um, Yes, Mrs. Whitlock. Look, I had my finger all ready to go. I was working on it while Christopher was still live. So I got my picture all ready to go and did my title. Oh, but I did forget to update my little linkies. So let me pop a few links down here for you. 1 second. I won't be able to see your comments for just a second. But give me 1 second, then I will be able to see what you're saying again. It shouldn't take too long. All right. Coming back to you. Okay, cool. So now I can see you guys again. It is glitter, D. The green, the sparkly stuff here, it's glitter. It is not an embossing powder, and it's not a glaze. It's just an itty bitty glitter. Hey, Evilise. Oh, you have a blog post to do tonight. I need to do some more of my crafting in advance. Hey, Belinda, how's it going? Understand blog. Dee, what do you need to understand? Let the crafting party continue. I like that, Tracy. I'm all about a crafty party, let me tell you. Okay, I'm going to pull out a couple things that I'm going to be using. Obviously, the stamp set for sure. Okay, so I have been working like a crazy person to make a bunch of cards using the new inspiration box. And Daniel can attest that I have been posting 8 trillion things in our design team group, or the team for the inspiration team, the group for the inspiration team. Good grief, you guys. So I've been going crazy posting all kinds of stuff, all these projects that I've been making, because I am going to be sharing a video hopefully tomorrow, if I can get it all edited during nap time. But hopefully tomorrow I will be sharing my very first Jess Rocks the Box video. So every month I plan to have a video where I make a bunch of cards using the inspiration box so that you guys have some inspiration and some different ideas on things that you can do with the inspiration box. So hopefully that is something you guys are interested in. Those are going to be longer videos. Hey Heather, how's it going? Oh my gosh, Tracy, that's awesome. Where do you live? You just give me your address and if I can make it. Yeah, Tracy, I was trying to find something that rhymed. So Jess Rocks the Box. That's what I came up with. You know, I like puns and I like clever things. So, oh, Michigan, that's a little far. I am in Virginia, so that would be quite a drive for me to get there. Okay, so what I'm going to do tonight is I'm actually going to give you guys a sneak peek of one of the cards that I made for my Jess Rocks the Box video. So you guys are getting to see it first. And the only people who've seen it are on the inspiration team. If it's Heather, she probably bought them because don't you know that Heather doesn't cook? Okay, so this is the card. I was going to ask you guys if you wanted to see it first or if you wanted it to be a surprise, but I kind of ruined that. So I guess I decided for you. Now you get to see what card we're making ahead of time. This is the card we're making. And I used products from the inspiration box to make this. And I will just kind of walk you guys through what I did to make it and we'll go from there. Oh, thanks guys. I really liked how it was a different take than what I was doing the first time, because I kind of gravitate towards the more like watercolor and like bohemian sort of stuff for this card, for this inspiration box. And I wanted to kind of do a different take on that. So this is what we are going to make. I will leave it up here kind of in the corner. Oh no, Penny, I hope it gets there soon. Ugh, that's the worst, waiting for stuff to arrive. I'm so impatient. Okay, so we are gonna get these stamps out. What I'm gonna do first is, this is actually a piece of vellum over top of a piece of black cardstock, which I heat embossed with the feathers. So we're gonna kind of do it layer by layer just to start off with. I'm gonna create the background first. So we're gonna use a piece of black cardstock, and then we are going to heat emboss with alabaster embossing powder. So I am really starting from scratch. I don't even have my card bases cut down or anything. So I'm going to cut it at 5 1/4 by 4 and just 4. So 5 1/4 by 4, because I want it to be matted with the white card base. And I don't know about you guys, but I actually keep these strips over like in a scrap bin, especially the black ones. I don't really do it with a lot of the other colors, but my black ones I do keep because I put sentiments on them, and I have a lot of sentiment stamp sets that are very small and dainty, and these are perfect for just putting across a card somewhere. So I hang on to these. I don't throw them away. Okay, so 5 1/4 by 4 is our measurement. Hey guys, hey Fatima, hey Don, how's it going? Yes, exactly, good for sentiment. That's why I always keep them. Oh Penny, I have an order like that too. Just one. I have one order that hasn't been updated. And you know what? I got from another company. I just got a different order where I think on Friday, it showed that my order had a label created or whatever, right? But that the company didn't have anything done yet. But nothing ever updated, right? So I thought, well, I'm gonna have to contact them and figure out what in the world is going on, because there should have been some sort of update, right? And then I was gonna contact them today, and then all of a sudden it updated and said it was out for delivery. And like nothing ever happened. It never had any other updates. And then all of a sudden today it was out for delivery. And I was like, well, that's bizarre. I don't know. I've never had that happen before, but first time for everything, I guess. Oh yes, Dee, I've seen a card like that too. I think Jennifer McGuire had a card like that a while back that I watched that I really, really liked. And hers always looks so much prettier than mine. Like I try to put it all together the same, like she makes it seem so easy. And then I go to try to do it and I'm like, well, that didn't look right. Like that didn't turn out at all how I planned. But that's okay. We're all our own crafters, and I feel like if we try too much to copy other people's stuff, our own personalities sort of get muted. And I always tell people that I don't have a style, but I mean, maybe I do. I don't know. I feel like I don't have my own style. I feel like I kind of go back and forth and do a lot of different things, but I guess I do tend to do the same sort of things. Like with this card, I do the sequins thing, and the little bit of twine and whatever, and the little sentiments coming from certain directions. I don't know. I don't know. I march to the beat of my own drum. And sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a piece of paper towel down below, because I know that the media mat is for this, but I don't like getting my mat dirty if I can help it, unless I'm working with like aqua pigments or distress inks or something. I don't like that. Let's see. You guys have been busy. Yeah, I'm sure they have. They've got like a billion orders going on. Okay, I'm not going to try to replicate this exactly, just because I don't think it really matters that much. But I'm going to just go ahead and start stamping. No particular order, just kind of where I think things look nice. It doesn't have to be in a specific order either, just because this is all kind of a muted and covered up setup. Like, you know, you're not going to really be focusing on the feathers too much, so the pattern isn't like super duper important. Okay, so I think I'm going to, I'm just going to have one little tag sticking out over here. Okay, I'm not going to worry about cleaning my stamps quite yet. I want to go ahead and get all of my stamping done first. The Dreamcatcher is bigger. Yes, it is giant. I absolutely love it. All of these stamps are such a good size, and they're all so intricate and beautiful. This really, really is my favorite inspiration box so far. Like, really and truly, I can't even tell you how much I am obsessed. All the people who are in our little design team group or inspiration team group, they can tell you I have been going nutso making cards and sharing them in that group, because we kind of share our cards together so we can bounce ideas off of each other and see, you know, what people think of things before we share them publicly. And I have been going crazy making all these cards. I just can't stop. Literally one of the ones I posted earlier in the group, my little caption or whatever was "can't stop, won't stop," because I'm so obsessed, and it's amazing. It is really, really and truly my favorite inspiration box that I've seen so far. So it has been super exciting for me. I have been really having a good time making all of these cards. So I'm excited to be able to show all of those to you. Like I said, hopefully tomorrow I will be able to share some of the cards that I have made using this set or this inspiration box, because I am super excited. Okay, so this is good. The thing that is awesome is that you'll notice I have not done any of my embossing yet. I haven't put any powder on it, but it's cool because this does not dry. Because it is oil-based, it just stays wet, which is amazing. Let me grab a coffee filter. We are nearby. Okay. My best friend loves Dreamcatchers. Oh, that's awesome. Ah, that's really cool. Oh, the one, Tracy, the one that Christopher showed in his live, was it last night or the night before? I can't remember. They all kind of blend together because I feel like we're all on our little family of live chats so frequently that I can't remember which night is which. But that rainbow where he did with the aqua pigments, yeah, I want to see it. Tracy, you should totally post it in the Bruce Monroe fan club page. I've been so excited to see your guys' creations in that group. It's so awesome. Okay, so I'm just doing a little bit of tapping here to get some of that excess powder off. And again, I am not super worried if it's perfect or if everything, you know, is exactly right, just because this is not going to be the main focus of the card. So a lot of this is going to be covered up. You're not going to see it as a focus. So I am not going to spend a lot of time making sure it's perfect, because we've got other things we can worry about. Oh, awesome, Tracy. I can't wait to see it. I hope that you'll tag me so I can see. Okay, I'm going to try to do my heat embossing here in front of you guys so that you can see it. If I lift it up, I think I might have some better results, but we shall see. Oh yeah, cool. Yes, Christopher's technique, that was so awesome. I am going to turn on my heat tool right now, so if you can't hear me, sorry, but I will try to keep talking through it. So I'm using the Wagner heat tool. And I am going to try to do it here in front of you guys. I'm just letting it warm up a little bit before I take it to my paper to help minimize any warping that might happen. All right, and then I am going to just keep it moving so that it's not in one place for too long. I kind of like to go sort of from area to area so that I'm not doing too much all in one spot. And you can see how it's getting brighter as that embossing powder melts. Oh, awesome. I'm glad that you guys can hear me. I always worry about that. It's a little bit noisy, so I'm never sure if you guys will be able to hear me over it. All right, the magic of embossing powder. I know a lot of you guys were saying that this is your favorite part, is watching the embossing powder melt. So who am I to deprive you of that joy? All right, so we are good to go with our embossing powder. And what I like to do afterwards is just take a clean paper towel and just do a little bit of buffing to get rid of any of that powder that was left behind from my anti-static powder tool and any spare embossing powder that may have been left behind. All right. Okay, so this is our background. So that's going to be kind of the main focus of our card. I do also have my card base ready to go, so I'll just go ahead and fold that down. We can go ahead and mount our piece ahead of time instead of having to wait. I am also going to be using my mini Misty here in just a second. So I use my ATG for pretty much everything. I got to admit that I don't love tape runners. But this type, the glider, I've had much better results with. I used to get super frustrated, and I've had like a billion different types of like glue dot runners, and I mean just like everything you could think of. I've tried so many different kinds, and this is the ATG is what has worked best for me. So that's awesome. Okay, perfect. This actually, if you had time to do this technique a few times, this would actually make really cool note cards. If you were going to like make a gift set for stationery, this is actually really pretty. And you could just put like a Glitterstock monogram in the center or whatever, but just something simple and plain. This would make really cute note cards. I like it. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is cut down a piece of vellum, because you guys know I have been vellum obsessed lately. So I keep some at my desk pretty much all the time right now. I have been using it like crazy, and that's okay. It's all right. This particular kit is like perfect for it too. I don't know, all of these, okay, Dee, see you soon. All of these images, like the dreaminess of the dream catcher, I don't know, all of that is just so cool. It goes really well with the vellum. I feel like it gives it a really cool bohemian, dreamy, I don't know, it's just a really cool look. What we're going to do is we're going to pop this piece of vellum into the mini Misty. Whoa, it would help if I did not like bend it all up like a crazy person. I am going, yes, Belinda, I can. So Christopher has a really awesome angel policy, and he is, I mean, it's like as long as it's handmade and you're not reproducing digitally any of the images or like printing anything out, as long as all the images are hand stamped and your products are handmade, then you can sell your products, which is really cool. So yeah, that's a nice perk, that it's not off limits, you know, to be able to design things and take them to my craft shows or whatever, because these are my favorite, these are some of my favorite products, which is really cool. Yes, Tracy, that's a great idea. Then you can give them in a little set. I think if you look also, there are some tutorials probably on how to make your own gift set or gift boxes for note card sets. So you could even make a cute little box or container for them to go in, which would be super duper cute. He is awesome, Fatima, you're right. I am so thrilled, and I feel so fortunate to be a part of the design team. And I mean, I don't know. I just feel really lucky. Of course, Tracy. Okay, so I'm using the embossing ink again. I hit my vellum with the anti-static powder tool, and I've got it in my Mini MISTI with my bar magnet. I love this so much more than the two separate magnets because, number one, it holds the paper down so much better. You don't have to worry about them snapping together or like pinching your fingers off or doing anything crazy like that. And I don't know, they just work really well. I super duper like it. Oh, and you know what? Every time Christopher goes live, I forget to talk to him because I know somebody in here said that his sister plays Pokemon Go. And I totally forget every time to bring it up and talk to him about it. I need to get on that, you guys. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside so that I can go to town on my other embossing powder. And let's see. Okay. I do not have, unfortunately, the Raven embossing powder, so I am just going to use what I have on hand, which is this black embossing powder from Ranger. And you will probably notice that I have a bunch of junk in here. Like literally there's like scraps of paper and weird residue, which it comes from my desk. Like if I scoop some stuff up and go to clean it up and dump it all back in there, see there's like a scrap of paper right there, but that's okay because the paper will not stick to my embossing powder. So I don't have to worry about it getting on anything. So it bothers me that it's in there, but you know, it's okay. So I'm using the black embossing powder. You guys can definitely use Raven if you have it. It's on my list of things to get. So hopefully in the near future, I will have that. But I'm just making sure that my vellum is totally coated so that I don't have any missing spots. I want to make sure that everything has a good layer of embossing powder on it. And then I just do my little tapping to get off any of that excess powder. And I have some sort of weird problem with dark colored embossing powder. I feel like all of my other embossing powders, I can do really well with not making a big mess, but for some reason, these, okay, well it's two. It's the really dark ones and the white ones. Everything else I seem to be okay with, but the dark ones and the white ones, I get all over the place. They're like all over my desk and I don't understand it. Normally I wouldn't care too much because I do most of my heating off of my desk area, but today I'm going to be doing my heat embossing over top of my work surface, so I want to make sure that all that embossing powder is not left behind, just because I don't want to melt the embossing powder to my media mat. Okay, I'm going to do just a little bit of brushing here to get off a couple of those spare bits, because I don't want to have too much going on. I want it to be a really stark contrast between the vellum background and my dream catcher. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I do. Oh, Renee, that's awesome. Yeah, the embossing pad is super awesome. It's my favorite. It is so much more juicy than any of the other ones that I have, and I love that it doesn't dry. Belinda, yes, I need to get some. I just don't have any yet. It's also on my list. I have a really big list, you guys. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on my heat tool. I'm not going to go directly down. I'm going to hold the vellum up. But I am going to heat it from the back. I'm not going to blow at the front. So this is where my powder is. I'm going to turn it over and you're going to see how fast it heats up with this heat tool. Look at that. I don't know if you can tell on the screen, but it's like immediately changing. And I'm not even going from that direction. It's awesome. It heats up so fast, you get awesome results, and you didn't even have to worry about blowing off the color or having any of that extra fine dust splattering everywhere. And just like that, in just a couple of seconds, totally done. Really like it. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and grab, I know, wasn't it super fast? It's so cool. It was like instant almost. It's crazy. Uh-oh. I think I missed a spot though. I feel like it's not quite, hold on. I want to hit this spot right here because I think I didn't put my heat on it long enough. It looks like it's very slightly not as shiny. Hold on. All right. I just wanted to make sure because I didn't want anything rubbing off. But you can see that because it was so fast, I didn't get all that crazy warping. And because I hit it from the back side, like I said, you didn't get all the powder blowing off. Don't have any problems with that. So that's really awesome. Okay, so what we are going to do is actually just adhere this directly to our card panel or our card front. And I am going to use the Bertus Monroe craft glue for this. I am going to be putting my, I wonder if I could do it. Hold on one second. I actually have right here some extra precision tip lids. So these are the ones that I use. They're from Quilled Creations. And I use this, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I use it on my multi-matte, my matte multi-medium or multi-medium matte. I use it on there. So what I do is instead of dumping it into this bottle and then having to label the bottle, I see if the bottle will fit, like if this will fit the container instead. Sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't, so we will see. It might be one of those cases where it doesn't actually fit, but we're going to try it out and see what happens. Because that would be amazing if I could just use this and not have to worry about, because, you know, it's really nice to have that smaller space there so that you can get like tiny itty bitty little places. Let's see what happens. You guys, oh my gosh, it works. Okay, so this allows me to get tiny itty bitty little dots really easily. I love these precision tip applicators because, I don't know, just trying to get itty bitty amounts of glue somewhere is crazy. I get so frustrated sometimes with glue, and since I have these, I really don't get too frustrated anymore. I'm trying to focus my glue on the denser black areas so that I don't have any glue sticking out. I'm actually going to put one dot down on the bottom just to kind of, because this is all that's holding my vellum on. Nothing else is attaching the vellum. Oh, thanks, Angel. I wasn't sure if it was going to. That was totally a shot in the dark. I wasn't sure what was going to happen. But I don't want to have any glue sticking out of the back if I can help it, which I kind of just did over here because I accidentally moved it, but that's okay. My glue hit the page before I was ready. What I'm actually going to do is lift this up really quick and see if I can just smear it off so that it's not showing. I'm going to get this little piece right here too. And since it dries clear, hopefully it should not cause us any trouble, but we will see. So I kind of just hold it down for a second, let it do its thing. Since it's such a small amount of glue, it dries fairly quickly. And you don't have to worry too much about it sliding around, but do be gentle if you guys do make this kind of card where you're attaching it through the vellum, just because it's not adhered all the way across the board like it would be normally. So you do still have these pieces on the edge that are sticking up. That's totally okay. Okay, so our next step is going to be to cut a piece for our sentiment, and we're going to use the Follow Your Dreams sentiment. Not that one, this one. Actually, let's see. Everything starts with a dream. No, I'm going to do the same one. I liked it because it was little. I liked the little itty bitty sentiment. Okay, so what I'm going to do is cut down a strip of this black cardstock. That's like one of my favorite things about making cards is these black strips for sentiments. I don't know why, but they speak to me. I just really like them. They make my heart happy. Okay, so I'm going to grab my Mini Misty again. So I will need to pop my Dream Catcher stamp out of here, and we'll set that to the side. I'm going to go ahead and turn my Mini Misty to the side. I like to do it this direction. I don't know why. I think it's just personal preference. But you guys can totally do whatever you like. Going to a scrapbook retreat this weekend, so gotta change gears for a few days. Oh no! You can totally do your card making stuff for scrapbooks though, right? Like, can you use the same, I don't do a ton of scrapbooking, but can you use the same techniques and just kind of apply them in a different manner? Or is it just totally different? I feel like scrapbooks really overwhelm me. I don't know, they just feel, I think we talked about this the other night when I was live, is that scrapbooks just make me feel overwhelmed. They're too big. So if I do scrapbook, I have to use a smaller layout, like a 6x6 maybe. Because I don't know, they really overwhelm me. The space is too big. Maybe it's because I'm using, or I'm used to making cards instead of other stuff, but I don't know. Okay, I'm going to pop this back out and get my alabaster. Oh yeah, you could use stamps and embossing. Oh, but too much to pack and take with. Oh no, okay. Well, that's cool that you can take your Cricut. What kind of Cricut do you have? Mine I've had for a few years now. It is a Cricut Explorer. I think it's a 3, like Cricut Explorer 3, if that sounds like a thing. My husband actually got it for me. Okay, this is, oh, you have the Air 2. Yours is newer than mine. This is actually kind of my origin story when it comes to card making, you guys. So in the winter of 2014, I was a new mom. My first son had just been born in July, so he was only a couple of months old, and I was really missing creating. I've always had a ton of craft stuff, but I never really had a specialized focus. So I've been lugging around craft supplies for like a million years, but I never really had a thing that I did that was kind of like my thing. Oh, Fatima, that's okay. I would like to see pictures of your cats and lizard. That's super cool. But oh, you have the maker? Oh my gosh, I'm so jealous. I wish that I had that. Okay, so I've been lugging around these craft supplies for like forever. My mom was always really crafty, so, you know, we did a lot of crafting together. And so I kind of had this obsession of hoarding craft supplies, like from when I was little. I've always done it. It's always been in my blood, if you will. So, okay, fast forward to me as a new mom, desperate for some sort of something that was me, that I could do, that I felt like, I don't know, like somebody wasn't relying on me to do it, which is funny because now it's kind of come full circle and it's not really the same as it used to be, but the purple container, was it this? Is this what you were talking about? It's embossing powder. If this is what you were, it's upside down, sorry. If this is the one that you were talking about, it is embossing powder from Ranger. And I just use these little plastic tasting spoons to scoop out the powder. But yeah, so, okay, so I was a new mom and I was struggling to feel, I never admitted, I don't think, that I had some variance of postpartum depression, but I'm pretty sure I probably did. But I was really, really needing something that was for me. Oh, hey, butthead. I needed something that was just for me. That wasn't about taking care of a baby, and it wasn't about cleaning the house, and it wasn't about all of that stuff. I needed something for me. And so, however it came about, I don't really remember, but I saw, or somebody told me about the Cricut. And I immediately became obsessed, which is common for me. I do that a lot. I see something and I'm like, I must have it. I need it. I don't know. I just get really, I have like an obsessive personality probably. But yeah, so I saw the Cricut and I was like, that is probably the coolest thing I've ever seen. Must have. And so I put it on my Christmas list thinking like, well, I'm never going to get that. That is a huge purchase for Christmas. And um, lo and behold, my husband actually did get it for me for Christmas. And I was super excited. And I don't know. I thought, okay, this is going to be the thing that I have for me. This is going to be what I can do that, is going to be my thing. And I turned on the machine and I couldn't figure it out. I was like, this is the worst. I don't know how to use this. I don't know what I'm doing. There weren't any classes. Like, funny story, I actually teach classes at Joann for how to use the Cricut now. But when I first started, I had no idea how to use it. And it was very difficult for me because I'm used to being able to kind of catch on quickly. And with the Cricut, I didn't feel like I could. Like, for whatever reason, I really struggled with learning how to use it. And I destroyed like a million projects in my quest for learning how to use it. And I feel okay admitting that now. Back then, I wouldn't have talked about it. I would have been like, no, just don't talk to me about that machine, okay? Thanks. But yeah, so I told him several times, like, you're just going to have to return this because I can't figure out how to use it. I don't know what I'm doing. I have no clue what's going on. All I keep doing is ruining everything. I'm wasting all my products. And this was before I'd ever made a single card. I had never made a card in my life. And I had no clue what I was doing. So I stuck with it, and eventually I did figure out how to use it, obviously. And then I started getting better. I felt a little more comfortable. Yes, I know. Whenever I teach my classes at Joann, I do get a lot of people who are they're adamant. They're like, I can't figure this out. I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm like, oh, I understand because I was you. Like, this was me, only there was no class for me to take. And, I really struggled with that. But, so I tell them, like, don't give up. You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. And so people they appreciate that, I think, because it's a lot trying to learn how to use a machine like that. But yeah, so now I teach classes and it's kind of just a funny story to look back on. But I shared the other night when I was live, Jerry, I do have a couple of Cricut videos. Not too many so far, but I have some. I have like a tour of Design Space and how to upload your own images. I have a few others that I have filmed but never shared. But yeah, I have a couple. But yes, so I was doing this, I was trying to make cards, you guys, and it was awful. My cards were horrific. They were so bad. And I was so discouraged because I was like, I used to be fairly good at making things, and now I can't figure it out to save my life, and I don't understand why I'm so bad at this. And then eventually with practice and whatever, I kind of got the hang of it a little bit more. But yeah, it was a long, hard process for me. It did not come easily, I guess, is the better way to say it. And it's kind of funny looking back now, like, that I make cards every day pretty much, and I'm blogging and I am on design teams. It's like a totally crazy concept for me because I still remember, seeing myself in that situation and like knowing that I had no clue what I was doing. And it really wasn't that long ago. It was like 4 years ago. And I've come a long way since then. Yes, I do a lot with my Cricut. I actually make all of my envelopes with the Cricut. So whenever I send a card out, I will make an envelope out of like a one-sided patterned paper so that when you open it, the inside has a cute little pattern on it. So I do that for all of my handmade cards that I sell on my Etsy shop too. And so I use my Cricut a lot for that. But I also design like specialty cards in there and things like that. Oh, awesome, B. Yeah, I feel like I've kind of been neglecting my Cricut a little bit lately. Oh, it was intimidating for you too? Yes. I feel like you need to, I, I don't know, not having classes was really difficult for me. I felt like I did need someone to just sit down with me and teach me how to do it because I had no clue what I was doing. And the problem that I ran into was I was like, oh, okay, well, I can just look it up on YouTube, right? I will figure out what I need to do by researching it and searching on YouTube and finding the videos, and I'll watch it and then I'll figure out what to do. Except I didn't even know what to search for. Like I had no idea what I needed to search on YouTube in order to learn what I needed to learn. Like I was that far behind or out of the loop or whatever that I didn't even know what to search. I was like, I don't even know what it's called or what I'm trying to do. I don't know if it's possible or like I don't know. It was a lot. But I'm glad that I stuck with it because otherwise, if I hadn't stuck with it, I don't think that I would be in the place that I am right now because I probably would have just given up on card making. There we go. I probably would have just given up on card making and gone another route. So I'm really happy that I did stick with it. Because otherwise I wouldn't be here hanging out with you guys. Okay, so that is pretty much our card. The only thing that I do differently, I think I learned this from Kelly Latavola, is, I think it's her that I learned it from. I use glossy accents inside the sequins. So once I glue them on, I just put like a big fat bubble of glossy accents inside the cup portion of the sequin. And it gives it this really cool gem sort of effect, which is awesome. Oh, Melody Lane. I think I've seen some of her videos. Did I see her in one of Christopher's videos the other night? I feel like maybe she was in his live chat the other night. I'm not 100% sure, but I feel like maybe that's a thing. Okay, so I make these like really fat and bubbled up because if you do that, then you get a really good, because they do settle. The glossy accents don't stay popped up. They do settle down, so you can see it looks really huge and bubbly. I don't want to pick it up too much because I don't want them to fall over. But you can see, let me stand up so I can see where I'm putting this. Okay, so they look really super bubbly. But they do settle out. So here is the card that I already made. And I did the same thing with the glossy accents. And you can see it's not as giant. It looks almost flat, but a little bit domed. And I think it just gives it, it's like a gem. It's so pretty. It gives it like an extra bit of sparkle and a bit more dimension than other ways. I think they look really pretty. So yeah. That is the card, you guys. What do you think? I think I like it. I'm pretty excited. Now I have two. I hadn't planned to make another one, but I'm happy that I did because I really like this card. Oh, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to sneak peek you one other thing that I'm going to be sharing in my video. And so I've got 5 cards that I'll show you how to make in that video. And this one is actually the first one I made. I'm going to set this one aside so that it can dry without getting messed up on my desk. Oh my gosh, Jennifer, you totally should. I hope you do. You should tag me. If you make one, I want to see it. Oh, and you guys, the other cool thing about this is because it doesn't really have a color scheme other than black and white. Oh, you thought I was messing up using black instead of gray? Yes, it's an extra layer. I like the vellum. You guys know that I've been on a crazy vellum kick lately. This has been my thing for a while now. But yeah, so since this doesn't really have a color scheme other than like the black and white, but it's very neutral, all things considered, you can change out the color of the sequins. So I used metallic rose gold from Pretty Pink Posh for mine because I really liked that color. But you could use any color. You could use purples or greens or anything that you wanted to brighten it up or add a pop of color or whatever kind of color scheme you wanted. You can just change those accents. Oh my gosh, I just like, hold on. I knocked one of my sequins off because just my luck. Okay, now I gotta put more glossy accents in it, you guys. Yes, I can't wait for the new vellum either. I am super duper excited. I have been dying to get my hands on it, so I'm going to try to place an order as soon as it goes live, so that I can get it as soon as possible. Okay, now for real, I'm going to set this aside because I messed it up once already. So I'm going to set it off to the side. Okay, so this is one of the other cards that I am sharing, which is not as fancy, but I thought was super hilarious. This is actually, I used the Folkwave stencil for the background. I used the stamp of the month for this sweet little turkey. I trimmed off his actual feathers from the stamp, and I used the fancy feathers from the inspiration box. So these 5 feathers came in the Dreamcatching inspiration box. So I popped him up on some foam so that he kind of had some dimension, and then I used the sentiment "Dream Big" because, you know, a turkey advertising to eat ham around Thanksgiving. I just thought that was so funny with the "Dream Big" sentiment. So this is actually the first card that I made using the inspiration box, other than the one I did in the live video like right after. But I just thought it was so, I don't know why, but as soon as I saw these feathers, I think I said this in the live video when I was doing the unboxing, that I was like, I don't know, it reminds me of a turkey if you just put them together like this. And so I had to do it. So I'm really excited that I was able to pull it off, at least somewhat. And you can see I did the same thing with the sequins here. I put the glossy accents in them. I think it looks really nice. But I wanted to include at least one card that was not what you would think of as a traditional Dreamcatching card with that inspiration box, because I like to, I don't know, I like to have an option to use it for something that's not really the intended purpose, if that makes sense. And I thought that this really fit the bill for that. So I've got some other cards also that I will be sharing in my Jess Rocks the Box video that hopefully will go live tomorrow, so be sure to stay tuned for that. Your husband must be very proud of you. Oh, thank you, Sandy. You're so sweet. What did I do with the stencil for the background? Okay, it was just white cardstock, and I used the Folkwave stencil, and I used Gathered Twigs Distress ink, and just a foam ink blending tool. So I just blended it on first, and then I layered the glitter stock over top. So I kind of did a mismatch of everything for this particular card. So this background is the Folkwave stencil. The feathers and the sentiment came from the Dreamcatching inspiration box. This little guy is the stamp of the month. This this glitter stock is from Bountiful Harvest inspiration box, and the embossing powder I used is Coffee Grounds. So that was, I think, the September embossing powder of the month. So I tried to incorporate all of the recent stuff that I'd gotten so that I kind of had a cool combination of a bunch of different stuff. Belinda, me too. That card made me laugh so hard. Like, I was doing belly laughs, laughing at the little pointer pointing at the pig. I was laughing so hard, Daniel. That was like, it was hilarious. That was so funny. Okay, so the very last thing that I'm going to sneak peek you guys, because it's about to go live in 1 hour and 45 minutes, okay? We have our blog hop tomorrow, right? Today's Tuesday, right? I think it's Tuesday. I hope it's Tuesday. Okay, so at midnight, our blogs are all going to go live. So you can start on the Brutus Monroe blog. So you just go to brutusmonroe.com, and then you can click on blog up at the top. And then you'll see, once it hits midnight, all day long, you guys are too funny. You guys will see the inspiration team's hop post. And from that post, you will see some inspiration photos, and then down towards the bottom, you'll see a list of links of each person's blog. So if you click the first link, you'll go to that person's blog, and it usually just says their name. So it'll say Daniel. You click the link, and you go to Daniel's blog. And then you come back and you click Jess, and you'll go to my blog. And so you do that for every person. And don't forget to tune in to see, because we are announcing the winner of last week's the prize for the $25 gift card. So that should be announced in the Blog Hop post that goes live at midnight. So if you guys want to stay up and check it out, you totally should, if I may suggest some nighttime activities for you. But anyway, so we all used for this, every Wednesday we do a Blog Hop. We have a theme. Like one time it was Emboss Like a Boss. One time it was Favorite Florals. We have a ton. This week is Stamp of the Month, because it's the first Wednesday of the month. We are doing Stamp of the Month projects. So everyone used the same stamp to make their cards. Oh, Tracy, well then perfect. You can take a scheduled break at midnight and go check out the blogs. So everybody used the Stamp of the Month stamp to create their project. And I will show you my card since it's about to go live. This is the card that I made for this week's project. And I had a blast making this. I laughed really hard, and I'm so happy to see everyone else's funny cards with this stamp set, because I love it so much. Yes, obviously, Penny, because I'm on a crazy vellum kick. You know, I'm doing vellum on everything. I don't know why I'm so obsessed with it, but for whatever reason, I am really super obsessed with vellum right now. But what I did is I used the Bountiful Harvest stamp set, or the stamp set from the Bountiful Harvest inspiration box to make this. So I started out with a piece of white cardstock, and I stamped all my leaves in the background, and I colored them with Copic markers, and then I ink blended over that as well, and then I inked the edges just for a little bit of added interest. I layered my vellum over top because it was too busy without it. The vellum is just so much fun. I don't know, I've been having a blast with it. Hopefully you guys don't get sick of it, because I've been using it so much. Oh my gosh, Daniel, I wouldn't buy any more either. You gotta get that fancy stuff. But so I did that. I used the uppercase alpha dies from Brutus Monroe to cut out Give. I used the thanks die with the pretty glitter stock to do thanks. This one I cut with my Cricut, and I just brushed the letters with Wink of Stella so that they would be glittery. And then, of course, I colored up my Stamp of the Month stamp using Copic markers. I popped him up on some foam. You guys can read all about it on the blog if you want to. But yeah, so that is my project that will go live at midnight tonight. So I hope you guys will check it out and leave me some comment love on my blog and everybody else's, because all their projects are super duper cute. Everyone did such an awesome job, and I'm super excited to go and see them all when they go live. All right, I'll bring this back over so you can see again what we made. And just for giggles, I'm going to pop out the card that we made during our last stream together. So you can see how big of a difference. I mean, these are very similar. Like our sentiment strip is here. We've got our sentiment kind of hanging out over top of the dream catcher. We've got our little pretty bits and bobs. We're using the same stamp set in the center of the card, but look at how drastically different they turned out, which is super cool. I really love to have the option to do something so different with a card. So here we've got like crazy colors and just really dreamy and bohemian, and then over here it's like still dreamy but like in a totally different way. Yes, similar but oh so different. So just those little changes can make a huge difference. So hopefully that inspires you guys to just change things up a little bit. And I do hope you guys will tag me if you make something. I love, love, love seeing your projects. So if something I did inspires you, totally tag me. I always want to see it. If you're ever wondering like, Oh, is she going to be annoyed? The answer is no. It might take me a little bit to get back to you, only because I have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. And I only get to do my crafty stuff when they're taking naps half the time. But I do my best. And I always want to see it. So if you guys make stuff, definitely tag me. If you're not a member of the Brutus Monroe fan club, the Brutus Monroe fan club on Facebook, definitely go ask to join. And then you guys can tag me in there. You know, whatever. Hello. That's okay, Fatima. I hope you feel better. I'm going to cut it short now anyway so that I can spend some time with my husband and do chores also because yay. Yeah, I can't wait for you guys to get your boxes either. I hope that you all love them and that you create a bunch of awesome stuff. I know you will. But if there's anything that you guys want to see in the future, just let me know. You guys can shoot me a message or always talk to me during the lives, whatever, and let me know if there's things that you guys want me to do or test out or anything. You let me know. I'm your girl. And then hopefully tomorrow, oh, tell them how to tag me. Oh yeah. Okay. So, on Facebook, if you're in the group, you can, because I'm not under a card day's work, it's under Jessica Francisco. So I usually go by Jess on here. But my, it's my full name on Facebook. So it's Jessica Francisco. And, you can just start typing my name in the description or in the text box or whatever, and you will be able to tag me. That way I can see what you're making. Okay, cool. Thank you guys so much for joining. As always, I super duper love hanging out with you guys. Be sure to check back tomorrow because I will have that video ready for you guys with all 5 of the cards that I made using this box. So I hope that you guys will check that out and leave me some comments and let me know what you thought. Hugs and love to all of you guys, and I will see you again super duper soon. Mwah! Good night.